Simulation RPGs have seen a resurgence in the past decade, with games like Stardew Valley and RimWorld paving the way for ambitious titles to create entirely new experiences. Hello folks, it's Codiak here, and today we're grabbing our wands, picking up our broomsticks, and checking out a brand new indie game, Serin Fate. When you take the addicting, casual experience of a game like Stardew Valley and inject something new and electrifying into the mix, you're bound to get a few things right. I got the chance to play around 4 hours of Serin Fate, and while I'm not entirely sold on the game, there's a lot of potential and a lot of ambition, and that's something worth talking about. For those that may not have run across the game, Serin Fate is a simulation role-playing game that combines classic RPG elements with the freedom of a sandbox title. You play as a witch, and your goal is to progress at whatever it is you're interested in. You have access to a rather modular magic system that allows you to combine various elements to create spells. What's so different about the system is that it's also used to help you with the more casual aspects of the game, like chopping wood. When I finally figured out how to use the woodcut spell, I was amused by the floating axes that started chopping down trees. It was a truly unique moment and made me wonder what else the game had to offer. The magic system isn't exactly deep, but it is flexible, and one could see it eventually being quite expansive. But for now, we're limited to a short list of spells. Sadly, you don't have access to them all, hardly any, and picking up or learning new spells isn't exactly clear. Another fun feature is the introduction of magical creatures called Chimeras, which act as rare companions and combat allies. After a quick aptitude test with a talking mirror, you'll be gifted one of these creatures right off the bat. I will admit it took me a while to figure out how to use them, but once I figured out the basics, they became more than just something following me around. Besides the woodcutting and the companions, Serin Fate also wants to be an RPG, and that's incredibly clear right from the start. You'll run across a number of colorful characters that will kick off your adventure in a meaningful way, but just a few steps out the door and the wheels start to fall off the wagon. My biggest problem with Serin Fate isn't that it's ambitious, far from it. My problem is that the full scope of the game isn't realized within the first few hours of playing. I'm not saying we need to have everything right at our fingertips, but I was truly lost. I spent some time watching a number of other content creators talk about the game, and scrubbing through their experience, I realized one thing. No one has a clue what to do, and that's a problem. The breadcrumbs that can help players get through the learning curve presented at the beginning of a game just aren't there. Eventually, and we're talking about 4 hours here, I did start to get my sea legs, but it was a frustrating process of looking around the internet, dying a number of times, and ultimately adopting a kind of screw-it mentality. I'm not mad about it, the game is tailor-made for me, but the systems have to be more clear if it hopes to break into the mainstream indie scene. Farming, fishing, those things aren't new ideas anymore. They won't be enough to entice players to stick it out when things get confusing. What Serin Fate does have going for it is ambition. Just take one look at the game's Kickstarter and you'll see what I mean. There are a number of systems outlined online, but what you actually get to experience within the first 4 hours is a mere fraction of the experience. Serin Fate has potential, the pieces are there, but the execution and the polish need to be addressed, and quickly. The game just hit early access, which means people are now paying attention, and with limited time to really make an impression, some changes need to be made. I'm excited to keep one eye on the game. It's a fun twist on an experience I truly enjoy in my video games. I just hope the developer takes the time to read feedback, make some changes, and hopefully create a stellar game. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legion Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.